You all will be muted for most of the service. That's just to cut down on background noise. There are a few times that you will be unmuted and we can hear your voice. For those of you calling in today, welcome. We are so glad you're joining us by phone. And for those of you who have a screen and you're able to see people, there's two different kind of screen modes. One is gallery, and that gives you little thumbnails of all of us who are gathered. And one is speaker mode. I invite you to take a minute now and scroll through the gallery of people who are here, to kind of wave at your friends and Throop family who have gathered. There are people, I am looking, from West Virginia. There are people from Milwaukee. There may be other people far away. Zena is here from Oxnard. And then just a friendly reminder that we're swimming in this technology as a way for us to be connected. Sometimes technology is imperfect, and if we hit a snag today, that's just the universe's way of giving us a moment to catch our own breath and pause and wait for the technology to catch up with our own heart and souls. So welcome again to Sunday morning worship, and we'll see our warm Throop welcome video and our Throop chalice that's lit at the end of it. Come fully into this online space of hope and love, of peace and justice, of wholeness and healing. Come in where we welcome the certain and the seeking, the lifers and the newcomers, the beloved and the brokenhearted. All of you can find a home here at Throop, where we go love the world from the heart of Pasadena and from the heart of our homes. This Sunday morning spiritual connection is a chance for you to see the beloved faces of your Throop community. It's a chance for your own face and your own voice to be seen and heard. These Sunday mornings together are really a chance for us to remember that our circle of care is much wider than just the confines of our home. And we are truly connected across distance. One of the symbols of that connection is our Unitarian Universalist chalice, and Liz Murphy, Intern Minister, leads us in that chalice lighting.
If you have your at-home chalice, I encourage you to light that this morning as we get started with our chalice lighting words as a symbol of that connection that we share despite our distance. Our time together in worship is intimately connected with our daily lives. As a symbol of that connection, we light our home chalices in a spirit of love, hope, and peace. And on this Memorial Day weekend, we honor those we have known and loved in the past, in recognition of the gifts and sacrifices they have made in our behalf. And in our sincere hopes that we may be worthy of their memory, we light our candles, we give our thanks, and we offer our prayers. Amen. Now, friends, as we do every Sunday, we will share our promise to our planet together, and I will unmute everyone so we may hear one another's voices and the beautiful cacophony of sound we create together to recite our prayer. As members of the family of living
beings on earth,
we are
guided by the
Unitarian
Universalist principle of
for the
interdependent web of all existence,
which
we are a part. Hearts filled with love for it, eyes nurtured by its beauty, minds ruminating on ways to protect its sacred and scarce resources. We promise to nurture the well-being of life of the planet itself.
And now let's take a few moments and use the chat box to greet each other into our Zoom spiritual connection space. And I'll read some of them for the benefit of folks who are joining us on the phone.
And if we have any newcomers this morning, we're dropping a very quick sign-up sheet. If you'd like to stay connected with Throop during this time and in the future, we would welcome you to sign up, and so we can stay connected. That's in your chat box.
Yeah, so Tim is saying hello and happy Sunday. He is Curly Howard. If you all were wondering who Curly Howard is, it's Tim Hanami. Cindy Bradeen says, good morning, Super Troopers. Jeff is saying, hey, Steve. Pat, Dennis, right? So great to see everyone again. Denise says she has the kitten version of Tim's Curly Howard. Her kittens are adorable. If you've seen pictures and video on Facebook, you know what I'm talking about. Sky says that she sees us and she is so grateful that we're here. Mary Bentdahl is coming in from Catalina Island. Hello. Alethea says Tim's our celebrity guest. Yes. Joe is here with you full steam ahead. Hey, Jasper's saying, oi, Jasper Whitliff. Melanie says, good morning from her bear Charmin, named my little sister when she was 7. Aw, Charmin wants to say hi to all the kiddos. So if you can look through the gallery and see Melanie and Charmin waving. Rachel and Dave and Ripley say virtual hugs to all. Francis is reminding us to send our own love to Richard Maison. We miss him being here. Rachel Stevens says, good morning all. And Rini greeting us from the mountains of West Virginia. So great that we can gather from near and far. And Garrison is here reminding us to stay healthy and safe. Thank you, Garrison. So we love for you all to be just as active as you can in the chat box. It's just one way for you to continue kind of being with each other during the Throop spiritual connection today. So as we move out of this time of intentional greeting, we want to turn our attention back to Liz as she leads us in a reading and meditative moment.
So our reading this morning comes from John O'Donoghue, who is an Irish spiritual writer, a mystic of sorts, a former Catholic priest who turned his attention and interest toward indigenous Irish spiritualities, earth-centered spiritualities. So he really inhabits this hybrid state of spiritual life. And he wrote this poem that really speaks poignantly to this moment that we are in right now. It is titled, For One Who Is Exhausted. He writes, When the rhythm of the heart becomes hectic, time takes on the strain until it breaks. Then all the unattended stress falls in on the mind like an endless, increasing weight. The light in the mind becomes dim. Things you could take in your stride before now become laborsome events of will. Weariness invades your spirit. Gravity begins falling inside you, dragging down every bone. The tide you never valued has gone out, and you are marooned on unsure ground. Something within you has closed down, and you cannot push yourself back to life. You have been forced to enter empty time. The desire that drove you has relinquished. There is nothing else to do now but rest and patiently learn to receive the self that you have forsaken in the race of days. At first, your thinking will darken and sadness take over like listless weather. The flow of unwept tears will frighten you. You have traveled too fast over false ground. Now your soul has come to take you back. Take refuge in your senses. Open up to all the small miracles that you rush through. Become inclined to watch the way of rain when it falls, slow and free. Imitate the habit of twilight, taking time to open the well of color that fostered the brightness of day. Draw alongside the silence of stone until its calmness can claim you. Be excessively gentle with yourself. Stay clear of those vexed in spirit. Learn to linger around someone of ease who feels they have all the time in the world. Gradually, you will return to yourself, having learned a new respect for your heart and the joy that dwells far within slow time. Now, friends, as we're in this meditative moment, let us take a little more time now as these words settle into our spirits. Find a comfortable seat in your chair or on your sofa or on the floor. Put your hands at your side or on the tops of your thighs, and let your eyes softly close now. Or if more comfortable, let your eyes gaze downward. Let's take a deep breath in and out together. These have been days of weariness of spirit. As O'Donoghue reminds us, we have been forced to enter empty time. Many of us have been forced to slow down. Others have been forced to speed up for the benefit of us all. Wherever we land on that spectrum this morning, our understanding of daily life has changed. Let us be reminded that in this liminal space we currently inhabit, this time of wait and see, of start and stop, this is also a time to patiently learn to receive ourselves, to really be still with who we are. Notice your breath again. Now, I invite invite you to imagine yourself in your mind's eye, whatever that statement means to you. Open yourself up to all the small miracles you rush through. Watch as you are excessively gentle with yourself. Watch as your soul has come to take you back. In time, we return to ourselves as individuals and as a community of compassionate and loving people. Let's take one more final deep breath in, the deepest breath that you have taken all day. And let it out. May this and all the concerns on our hearts this morning be so. Blessed be, and amen. And as we culminate this time of centering and divine stillness, let us enjoy some music together from Chris Maldonado, our music director. This is Again as Evening's Shadow Falls. And as we take another deep breath in, as we dwell in the beauty of technology, I will turn to Reverend Tera. I will put the video on. Hopefully I will be blessed with a little bit of a stronger internet connection in this moment.
Thank you. Being at home these past many weeks, these days have been filled with blessings, and they've been filled with challenges and struggles. I wonder how it's really been for each of you. This past week, it felt like there were more struggles than blessings that were entering my heart. And I just tried to do the best I could to hold them, notice them, kind of wonder what that was all about, why this particular week. And is my own practice. I tried to balance that by being a little bit more intentional about searching for the blessings that are present right now also. And for me, one of the blessings of being a little bit more stationary than at other times in my life has been just the blessing of watching the changing light from morning until evening. We get up really early at 5:30, as soon as the birds start chirping and as soon as the sky starts to lighten a little bit, our eyes pop open and we're ready to go. And a blessing from that is, of course, getting to hear the concert of those birds in the garden, and also seeing the morning light just start to touch the tips of our apricot tree. And because we're not really going anywhere, we're also at home in the evening as soon as the light begins to fade. As the magic of twilight falls, we go back outside to sit in the coolness. We listen for the call of the ravens as they make their way back into their nest. We sit and breathe in the beautiful scent of the shimmering jasmine that's so prolific right now. There's lots of ways people have been describing this particular time in our lives. One of my favorite is offered up by Reverend Elizabeth Rector. She's a spiritual director, and she uses the phrase Twilight Zone. And she writes about what that means. She writes that twilight is an in-between space. It's a liminal place. But she wonders, where does the expression come from? No, it's not originally from that TV show that a lot of us carry in our hearts, that TV show that delved into the kind of in-between spot between fantasy and reality. But she tells us originally it's an aeronautical term, and it's used to describe the condition of a pilot trying to land a plane without being able to see the horizon. It occurs at twilight, when land and sky become indistinguishable from one another, and it's easy in that moment to become disoriented. A pilot must be able to function not by sight, but by instruments only. She has to trust the system's data in order to land the plane. I cannot count the number of times I've been disoriented since early March. And it's not just that in those times that the horizon is unseen, it's that I don't even know what the horizon is supposed to be anymore. As Rector points out, this disorientation that so many of us feel, while absolutely uncomfortable, is just also a chance for us to delve a little deeper into our inner instruments, into our emotional and spiritual practices, whatever those may be. Earlier, we heard those poetic words from John O'Donohue on how to counter exhaustion. And he wrote, "Imitate the habit of twilight, taking time to open the well of color." How do you imitate that habit of twilight in your own days? How do you rely on your inner instruments of peace, of hope? Where are you finding inspiration and the ability to move on and move through whatever disorientation you may feel? Mine is no surprise to those of you who know me. You know I find it in the garden. And so this week, when I could not see the horizon, I said, you know what? To heck with it. Just lay back on the gravel path, and I looked up at this beautiful blue sky, at the purple jacaranda blossoms that were hovering above my head in beautiful contrast to that blue. And I decided that in that moment, who cared about the horizon? It just didn't matter anymore. And what helps you kind of open up to the life around you? Liz Murphy, our intern minister, has done so much, not just now in this time of COVID-19, but this whole church year, in helping all of us open up to the world around us. For the summer, Liz will move out of her regular duties as intern minister with us, and she will hopefully be able to imitate the habit of Twilight, being gentle with herself, excessively gentle with herself, I hope. She will pop back into worship with us twice this summer, but for the most part, she'll be apart. And it's her time to pursue her ministry interest outside of this church community. Liz, you'll be away, you'll be somewhat apart, but you will take our blessings with you over the summer. And this morning we offer Throop blessings to you in 3 parts. The first will be video blessings by some of our members. And for the rest of you, as we get the video blessings queued up, now's a great chance for you to put your own well wishes and hopes to Liz for her summertime in the chat box. And Liz, I think we'll have you share your own video blessings.
Yeah, I think your audio might be on in the background.
Let your mind get weary and confused. Your will be still, don't try.
Thank you. And now, congregation, we'll do a litany of blessings for Liz. We will unmute you, and your response is, may we remain in each other's hearts. So let's try that together. May we remain.
May we remain in each other's hearts.
Liz, you have preached, taught, inspired, and held us when we needed this year. Now is your time to fill up your well and come back refreshed. May
we remain in each other's hearts.
Over the summer months, may you imitate the habit of Twilight, being excessively gentle with yourself, and we promise that we will be excessively gentle with ourselves.
May we remain in each other's hearts.
Use this time to return to yourself. In September, you'll return to us. We will greet you with open arms, ready to go out and love the world together. May
we remain in each other's hearts.
I'll see you in September.
And now we have the third part of our blessing. And Liz, I'm just going to ask that you go ahead and share this. It's a song and video created by Jeff Miles.
Shadows are falling and I'm running out of breath. Keep me in your heart for a while. If I leave you, it doesn't mean I love you any less. Keep me in your heart for a while. When you get up in the morning and you see that crazy sun, keep me in your heart for a while. There's a train leaving nightly, cold when all is said and done. Keep me in your heart for a while. Sha-la-la-la-lo. Keep me in your heart for a while. Keep me in your heart for a while. Sometimes when you're doing simple things around the house, maybe you'll think of me and smile. You know I'm tied to you like the buttons on your blouse. Keep me in your heart for a while. Hold me in your thoughts, take me to your dreams. Touch me as I fall into you. When the winter comes, keep the fires lit. I will be right next to you. Engine drivers heading north to Pleasant Street. Keep me in your heart for a while. These wheels keep turning, but they're running out of steam. Keep me in your heart for a while. Sha-la-la-la-lo. Keep me in your heart for a while. Sha-la-la-la-lo. Keep me
Liz, you have filled up our hearts and spirits and minds. We are so glad for you to take a bit of time this summer. We will keep you in our hearts, keep us in yours, and we will joyfully be reconnected in September.
Wow, I don't quite know what to say. I'm just so bowled over with emotion and gratitude and thanks. Thank you to each and every one of you who've made this experience for me so powerful and full of growth and all of that glory, whether awkward at moments and powerful and full of strength and new opportunity in others. You've been with me on every step of that journey. And I'm just so grateful that this is just the halfway point. There's still many more Sundays and weekday gatherings and Zoom church services for us to enjoy together. And that as I head off into this time of summer, this twilight zone of sorts, I am grateful and glad knowing that we're only halfway there. And so I'm just so excited and ready for all the things that we can build and do and learn from one another into this next year as well, starting in September. So I will absolutely be keeping each and every one of you in my hearts. And as I tell Tera every time we have our check-ins, I'm just so lucky and glad that I found my way to Throop, into this wonderful community of just loving and passionate and interesting and full of gifts group of people. So thank you to all of you. And as we're in a time of gratitude, we're moving to that moment in our worship service. And as I take time to read through your chat messages in a little bit, I wanted to turn us toward sort of the gifts of time and talent and treasure that we have among us all here at Throop. We are connected to Earth. We are connected to one another. The Throop community is ours to support and sustain, just as we are nurtured and cared for in return. I feel that especially today. For those of you who do have financial resources to share right now, we ask that you take a moment and make an online donation. You can contribute through our website, or you can text to give. If you prefer a check, you can certainly send a check or set up a payment through your bank. All of those options will be available on your screen in just a moment here, as we appreciate the offertory from Chris, and we'll also drop those options and links into the chat box as well. Thank you so much for supporting our life together as a Throop community. Looks like YouTube does not have gratitude for Reverend Tera today for whatever reason, unclear. So we're gonna pull up that beautiful offertory in just a moment. And as we do each Sunday, we give our gratitude for these gifts. And as we're thinking about these gifts, Reverend Tara and I want to share our gratitude and thanks to Jeff Miles for that absolutely spectacular video, the music and the visual. I'm just so amazing. Thank you so much, Jeff, for sharing all of your talents with all of us. It's just, thank you. And also to Alethea as our chat box greeter, thank you for keeping our chat box community alive and well and answering questions. So thank you, Alethea. So now let us bless our offering together. I believe you've been unmuted so we can share in this together. For the ministries
of the church in our community, we bless our offering with love and hope.
Love and hope.
We have ways this week for you to continue your Throop spiritual connections. We have several small groups. Those are always listed in the Tuesday tidings. They're on our website. They get posted each day to Facebook. And I think we'll drop a link to the website in the chat box. There it is, where you can see what those connections are. And please come. No need to RSVP ahead of time. Jennifer, Quintana, Hazel, and Willow have been creating really beautiful Kids Dig In lessons. Those are available each Sunday on YouTube Live. Each focuses on one of the Unitarian Universalist principles. And each week we're also identifying one way for you to do some social justice from home. And Liz has put a link to the social justice engagements in the chat box. Those are also lifted up each week in Tuesday tidings, as well as on our Facebook page. So if you have lit a chalice, I invite you to pick that chalice or candle, gently extinguish it. We extinguish the flame from our chalice, but its light carries with us out into the world. Be excessively gentle with yourselves this week. Don't rush. Enjoy the twilight moments of your lives as much as possible. Remember to breathe and find spaciousness in your heart, mind, and soul. I love you all. Go love the world. Amen, and blessed be. We invite you to stay for coffee hour and to stay for the postlude. This time a video that Chris recorded in our beloved sanctuary. So go get some coffee, enjoy the postlude, and come back for coffee hour.
Bye-bye, everybody. Well, that was nice.